Snow or sleet. Next time you look up and see clouds about to burst, just know that's the way that the water cycle works. I'm water. Hey. I'm water. Cycle repeats. If you can hear the sound of my voice, clap once. If you can hear the sound of my voice, clap twice. Good afternoon, lovelies. I'm so glad to have you in my presence today. If you can guess what we're going to talk about, raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. Come on, fifth graders, raise your hand, raise your hand. Okay, what you think we're talking about? Water. Okay, great. That's a good one. Precipitation. You read really well. All right. Today we are going to talk about the water cycle. Do you know that there is no new water on the earth? Yeah. The water that we have every day, that we drink every day, that we bathe with every day, is the same water that's been on this earth for billions of years. Did you know that? Like even your water bottle, yeah. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you? Well, I'm going to tell you how you're still drinking and still bathing with the same water from the dinosaur days. Let's look. So on this picture here we have the water cycle. It's pretty much showing you what this song just says, that it repeats. So what happens? Give me some examples of ice, Larry. Okay. Ice on Earth. Yeah, ice that you see on Earth. You were thinking like something like snow or glaciers. Guess what? That's all water. It is. It's frozen water. But once that water comes in contact with the sun, it does what? It melts. Yeah, like your cup of ice water. You put ice in your cup of sweet tea, and your sweet tea's kind of blah because the ice has melted and it turned into water and it diluted it. Right. So water and ice is the same. But once the sun hits it, it melts. And on Earth, it melts into streams, lakes, rivers, and what's that? Oceans. Correct. Oceans. How many of y'all swim in the ocean? It's a little salty water, but it's still the same. Yes, ocean water. Panama City Beach, Miami. Every time you get into that water, it's the same. But listen, once the sun hits that water, it makes it warm and it produces this hot air. I can show you an example of this in a second. Hot air is called water vapor. But you can't see it. Yeah, it's just like an example of water vapor is the dew in the morning. When you wake up in the morning and you walk through the grass and it's like that little cloud out there, the morning dew. Yes, that is like water vapor. That's what happens when the water is heated by the sun. Then it shoots up and condensation happens. That's the process of condensation. Do I have any questions so far? Listen, when condensation happens, then the water droplets get so heavy they collect in the clouds, and it then comes back down as someone said it earlier today. Who was my genius reader? Precipitation. Absolutely. And precipitation is rain, sleet, snow, and hail. Hail is another form of ice. It's just in small pieces. Or sometimes golf ball size hails, but not as large as a glacier. So, today we've talked about the water process and the cycle, and that evaporation and condensation and precipitation works on the earth to have us a steady, readily supply of water, right? But some other things that we'll talk about later on is like, when we pollute and stuff, how that's affecting our water. But, we'll talk about that later. But for today only, tomorrow we'll talk about that. For today only, we're going to draw us our own individual water cycles, right? Super cool. And then maybe tomorrow I'll show you with the plastic bag how condensation happens. But today, I just want you to glean from this process today. Somebody say glean. Y'all are smart. We're adding new words to our vocabulary. That ice melts down and it's collected into streams and oceans, and then the sun hits all of that stuff as well, and it turns into water vapor. Then that shoots back up in the process called condensation. Then it collects in the clouds and makes rain, sleet, snow, and then it comes down. Again, the process continues. This is how we have always had the same water on earth for millions of years. But listen, today I'm going to count you off into groups of 3. How many do we have in here? We've got 15. That means that would be some math scholar. We're throwing math into science. 15 divided by 3, we need 5. Somebody shout 5. 5 people in a group, and we're going to count off like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what numbers are you? Group 1, gather over there. Group 2, raise your hand quietly. You guys can't be so loud. Shh, 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 shh. All right, Group 3, raise your hands. Group 4 and Group 5. I am going to give you all a nice piece of whiteboard, and you guys will have all the tools you need in your sections that I've already. You see them. They're already pre-done. We're going to put Group 1 over there. Group 1, you can go ahead and go. Quietly. And we'll talk while you're doing that. Group 2. Group 3. You guys are doing so well. Oh, I love it. Are you excited about doing your water cycle? Okay. All right. Each of you get a white paper. Great. So, if you guys need my help, I will be walking throughout to see and to help and to aid. And I also have literature that if you need to, you can come up here and use these as references or resources to help you create your water cycle. I will leave this up, and I'm also going to play you YouTube videos of the water cycle continuously, so you'll keep hearing it while we're doing it. Because, all right, you guys in your groups? All right, give me 5. If you can hear the sound of my voice, clap once. If you can hear the sound of my voice, clap twice. Okay, do we have everybody in our group? We're going to go over the water cycle one more time before you start. You've got all your tools. You need crayons, Sarah? Here you go. All right, thank you, Sugar Muffin. The sun heats up the water that is an ice glacier. It then flows into streams, rivers, valleys, and oceans. But the sun's still working because it's still heating this up. And it turns it into a water vapor. And it goes up in the sky for condensation. They become too heavy for the clouds to hold it. And the rain, sleet, or snow, hail comes down and starts the cycle all over again. It's a continual cycle. You guys, I enjoyed teaching this to you, but I'm going to walk around and provide some help if need be. But I think you guys got it because you sound like little baby geniuses. All right, working nicely in our groups. Here we are.